Another day of MLB The Show 24 news to go over. They're just rolling out all this stuff with days left before this game comes out. Maybe they should have started this gravy train a little earlier. All the news we got on Thursday, March 7th, did not disappoint. SDS started the morning with a blog post, then the ratings reveal stream, which was interesting, but largely didn't really give us a ton of information outside of live series card ratings. And then there was the franchise and Road to the Show and presentation and so much more feature premiere. We're going to talk about all of it right now. We start first with what came out in the blog post in the morning. They updated the way faces look in the game, with shading and lighting and all sorts of things I don't understand. For those of you clamoring about faces and play models and stuff like that not looking different, let me show you. They're very different. So right in front of you, you see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from MLB The Show 23. You grab this, you slide it over, and oh my god, it's like a whole new person. Look at it side by side. It is not even close. It looks so much better in 24. They showed us with a few more player models as well. Jazz Chisholm becomes Jazz Chisholm. Luis Arias becomes better Luis Arias. Jose Ramirez becomes Jose Ramirez. And Corbin Carroll, you can't play any games with his name because both his first and last name start with C. So overall, fantastic. I wish they would have maybe shown that a little earlier on in the news dump cycle so people would stop saying that the game looks exactly the same. I know there are not monumental changes being made. I know it's still not made on the next gen, or I guess what we'd call current gen engine. I understand that is disappointing. I agree. However, steps are being taken within the parameters they have to make the game look better, and I appreciate it. And we are now moving on to the evening's feature premiere. Just a couple of things I wanted to point out before we talk specifically about franchise, Road to the Show, and presentation. Look at what I liked here. It looks like there are now the jersey sponsors on the jersey sleeves. I don't recall that being a thing this year. I'm pretty sure they were not. Not every team has them, it looks like, but the giant green TD Bank logo really stands out on the otherwise very cool Blue Jays uniforms. So that's that. And then another thing you'll be able to notice here as we hit play, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right spot in the video. This is Zach Wheeler pitching. Zach Wheeler has a new delivery. That's always one of the things you do every year is look at who's got new deliveries, new swings, etc. Zach Wheeler's one of them that got a little bit of an upgrade. You guys want to hear a little boy cry? Tears of joy? We sing in rejoiceful song? Caps created players are no longer in Diamond Dynasty. You cannot create a random, strange-looking 3'7", 800-pound catcher with his nose all the way on his forehead and play him in ranked anymore. It doesn't exist. The cynical person in me believes this is probably because now that you can create women's players, SDS knows the community won't be able to handle being civil, real human beings when creating female created players, so they removed it from the game. The other part of me hopes that it's simply a change to let Road to the Show be its own mode. It always should have been its own mode. When it trickled into Diamond Dynasty, it took so much away from the character of Road to the Show. It's just better for the game if it's separate, so I'm so happy it is. And now let's talk about franchise. Were there monumental shakeups made? Not necessarily. Were there game-changing things done? Not entirely. But the things we got for franchise show a step forward, and this screen in particular is very cool. Game entry conditions. No longer do you feel like you need to play all 9 innings of every game. No longer do you feel as if when you simulate things, you're missing action. You can set situationally during simulations, if you want to sim an entire week, it will take you to the points at which you specify. If you want to play every single 9th inning, it can take you to the 9th inning. If there are player milestone moments, or how, as they call them, player highlight moments, like no-hitters, cycles, it'll take you into maybe that last at-bat or last couple innings for the pitcher. You could do situational importance. If you're trailing by 2 in the bottom of the 9th and there are runners on base, very high situation importance, it will take you into that moment. Super cool, super dope. I'm a big fan. One of the daunting things for me for franchise is that it's too big of a mode. It takes too long. This actually eliminates some of that fear. Not fear, anxiety maybe is a better word. It eliminates some of that. Again, franchise still ain't perfect, but this is good. And also improved for MLB The Show 24, or further improved, is your logic during the draft scouting process. Undrafted and unsigned players have improved logic as to how they operate, and there's also improved logic for injured players through the draft. It's the risk versus reward of potentially drafting someone with a high injury risk who still has a lot of potential. And as SDS further tries to mirror what's going on in real life with that whole crazy collective bargaining agreement that got agreed upon a couple years ago, the prospect promotion incentive thing, matrix, I don't know what you call it, is now in MLB The Show 24. Prospects will get paid more based on like MVP finishes or all these certain things. It is too complicated to explain because I truly don't understand it. But basically, it will impact budgets. It will impact calling prospects up. It will make franchise seem just a little more realistic. Super awesome quality of life change here. There is now a player awards tab on the player card, at least in franchise. I don't recall if they said it's going to be in Diamond Dynasty and other modes as well, but in things like franchise, it makes sense because you're playing seasons, you're winning awards. So, love that. Super dope. It will show previous things before the game came out, and it will add to it as you continue to win more. Another nice quality of life change for franchise is that you can now begin your franchise with rosters reflective of even current injury statuses. So if you want to pick the Rangers, Jacob deGrom's elbow don't work, you can start with that if you want to. As we move on to the Road to the Show portion of this video, there's a lot less specific stuff to pause on and really sift through with our eyes, so I'm just going to talk. There are new hairstyles for all players. We knew that there were obviously going to be traditionally female hairstyles, but now there's going to be new hairstyles for every character you can create, and the hair physics have changed as we've seen, but they further talk about it here. There are more recorded first names, last names, and nicknames. I love that. I wish we could use AI to just know how to speak and say certain things, but we're not fully there yet. That's fine. But now, certain names, more names, will be understood by the game system. After saying I'm not going to pause a lot, I will pause here. Listen, I don't play Road to the Show. It stinks in its current form. Does it look a lot better for next year? Yes, for sure. I never made it to the majors in my most recent Road to the Show because I stopped playing it. Is this what the clubhouse always looks like in the majors? Because let me tell you, if not, this clubhouse got a major upgrade because the old clubhouse sucked. Here's something I'm a huge fan of in Road to the Show, and I wish there were other ways to implement similar things across the entire game. Your coach, your first base coach, your teammate, your third base coach, so people on the field are sometimes yelling at you to do things. Get back, steal, go to third, 2-2-2. Now, you don't just have to listen to it. It says it right at the top of the screen. Look at this right here, 2-2-2. After you make this dive and catch, which I'm not quite sure if she's going to make or not, you got to flip it the second. I just like seeing the visual of it too outside of hearing it. You can't always hear the volume. Sometimes I don't even play with volume like that. It's nice to read it. We also learned that there will be new MLB Network content. There's more narrative. There are new voices. There are new faces. Just further expanding upon the packaging and the presentation and the delivery and the stories and the Road to the Show characters that we're building. My favorite update I think that they made for Road to the Show to make it feel more authentic is that there's a new announcer for strictly minor league games, Ben Gelman. He's been involved with the game for a few years. He's not a new face, but if you don't play Road to the Show, you might not have recognized him. Usually he does the little cutscenes for MLB Network or podcasts or things like that, but now he is the voice of the minor leagues in Road to the Show, and that's incredible. I love making it distinct between the bigs and the minors. It's a distinctly different experience. Let's make it feel like one. All the footage you guys are watching in the background too, by the way, is from the Scout Combine, the Draft Combine. I love what they did. They sent guys to the last 2 Draft Combines to kind of feel it out and see how it works. You're going to have an individual skills day and then 3 games. So it's a 4-day combine. How you perform is going to impact your draft status both positively and negatively, so don't suck. And when we talk about presentation adjustments, it's the same style of stuff that they do every year to just enhance what's already in the game. There are close to 1,000 new types of presentation animations, hundreds of new crowd states, which they're talking about right here, which is super cool. What's a crowd state? It's how they react to things in moments of higher magnitude. It's a noticeable improvement. Are they going absolutely crazy and breaking the bleachers down? No, but it's louder and I like it. The folks over at SDS also worked on more specific team and stadium sounds. They show a clip of the Orioles with people chanting "Let's go O's" in the background. That was super cool. They have now focused on getting more exterior stadium views just in the lead up to the game for the presentation. Harmless fun. I like that. There are 4 new presentation themes and 8 presentation themes in total, just to kind of diversify and make every game feel a little bit more unique. I like that. There is now an ump cam, which I actually want to fast forward and find for you guys, so please hold. By the way, here is one of the exterior stadiums. Carry on, please hold again. Here is the ump cam. I found it. Look how cool this is once the screen goes away. Look at this. Look at the ump cam. I guess it's for replays on strikeouts. They clearly didn't show us a lot. There's also the show drone, which is going to go follow the ball around. I think that's fun. Anything for new camera angles, man. Mostly these are going to be used in offline. I understand that. Maybe they trickle it into Diamond Dynasty too. I like it. I think it's fun. It creates for a more immersive experience. And folks, that is it for the information. That's it, as if we didn't get a lot. We got a ton of information on Thursday, March 7th. The next planned feature premiere or go live for SDS is the Dev Tourney on March 13th. I'm gonna watch just to make sure they don't accidentally talk about anything or leak anything, or we don't maybe see a player that we shouldn't have seen on accident. I don't expect significant news to come from that. What I do expect next week are more blogs, because they've been killing the blog game lately. We still need a Legends trailer. We're running out of time. It's got to be coming soon. And then, of course, the launch night feature premiere for Diamond Dynasty. Stay tuned for everything on this channel about content. We're going to be killing YouTube. I will not be live on launch night, but I will be live on launch day, because your boy's got to sleep and things like that. So thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. Let me know what you think about all the offline upgrades made for MLB The Show 24. I'll catch you next time. See ya.